A prophecy given to you should confirm what's already in your spirit. No one should prophesy something that goes against the direction that God has already given to you. I remember I had one lady prophesy to me that I was going to own a big jet airplane. Well, to tell you the truth, that would have been stupid for me to go out and buy an airplane, get myself into debt when I don't want one, when that's not God's direction in my life. See, you got to be careful. I believe in personal prophecies. They can give you encouragement and comfort and sometimes instruction, but prophecies rarely are used by the Lord to guide you solely. In fact, if a prophet prophesies to you, it should confirm what's already in your spirit to do. There's a beautiful example in 1 Kings chapter 13 about a man of God who was told by God, I want you to go to this place and do not stop for any reason. And so that man headed to the place that God told him to go. And in the middle of his journey, a prophet of God stops him and says, why don't you stay with me and have dinner, stay overnight? And the man of God said, no, God told me I have to go straight. But yet the prophet said, an angel appeared to me and told me to tell you to stay with me. Yet he was lying. And yet that man of God listened to that prophet tell him that an angel told him to stay with him. During the middle of the dinner, the prophet looked at him and said, you disobeyed God. You stayed with me instead of doing what God told you to do. And because of it, you're going to die and not reach your destination. The next morning, that man of God got up, went down the road, hoping to arrive at his destination, when he was met by a lion who mauled him to death. That's a good example of someone who listened to a prophecy that went against the direction that God had given to him. Don't let prophets guide you. Let prophets only confirm what God's put in your spirit. I'll give you one other example in the New Testament. It's in the book of Acts. It's Acts 21, the story of Agabus, the prophet who prophesied to Paul. See, God had told Paul, I want you to go to Jerusalem to testify before me. So he lands on the province of Caesarea. There he is met by a prophet named Agabus, who took the rope off of his robe and tied his own hands and said, the owner of this belt is going to be bound in Jerusalem. At once, all the church gathered around Paul and said, don't go to Jerusalem, don't do it. You see what God's warning you through this prophecy. But what did Paul do? He didn't listen to that prophecy. He said, why are you breaking my heart? Don't you know I'm willing not only to be in prison in Jerusalem, but to die there? And so Paul would not be dissuaded by that prophecy. I bring these two examples because I want you to see that in these two cases, both prophecies could have changed, did change the direction of one man of God that resulted in his death. But in Paul's case, he refused to be dissuaded in the direction that God had called him. The same has to be true of you. Don't let prophecies guide you.